What about Salem? So I took a look and I said, let's just look at Salem with the latest data we have, which is just a little over less than a year old. And I said, knowing nothing about you guys, what are your major industries? Well, healthcare and social assistance, you have 268 firms in the city of Salem that are in the health and social services area. And you have a lot of professional and technical services. Again, that's the industry that's growing faster over the next 4 years in the Commonwealth than anywhere else. You've got 193 of those firms. And you have 177 retail establishments, large and small, many of them along this street. You have hotels and food services, restaurants, and then you have other services outside of the public sector, construction, 81 firms, finance and insurance, another 51 firms, and so forth. Then I said, what about employment? Well, it turns out that your largest employer, again, inside the city of Salem, and not necessarily does this mean these are all people who live in Salem, they could be commuting in. You have over 5,500 people working in healthcare and social assistance. And if you take just the top 4 sectors here in the town, in the city of Salem, healthcare, education, accommodations, hotels and food, and retail trade, they make up 2/3 of all the employees who work here. That's it. Okay? I just did talk in Billerica, and it turns out in Billerica, they have been the beneficiaries of the manufacturing renaissance. Half of Billerica's employment is in manufacturing, and it's growing. Okay? So I then said, let's take a look at Salem over time. These data come from the Department of Labor here, and the data are based on the unemployment insurance data that every employer, legitimate employer, has to submit to the state. They're called the ES-202s, for those of you who are in business. And you'll see that we had a nice growth in the in employment. These are small growth in this city, from about 1,213 in 01 to 1,294. And in fact, 2004 marked the high water mark for employment in Salem until 2011. And like much of the other parts of the state, it suffered the Great Recession, and you saw this drop. And then you see this growth again, and as of last year, you set a new record of a little over 1,300 employees. I'm sorry, establishments. Okay? Well, what about employment? Well, it turns out in 2001, your employment was about 15,400. Okay? And you had steady declines in employment all the way through 2009. So the number of establishments remained about the same. But employment fell, and what presumably that means is that there were some larger establishments that were laying people off or not hiring. And that continued, so you went from 15,000, basically 500, to about 14,500. You lost about 1,000 jobs in Salem between 2001 and 2009. And then, as the recession lifted, you had a strong comeback, and as of 2014, you had finally gotten back, and in fact slightly exceed what you were 14 years ago in 2001. Okay? What that says to me, and it's a story about Detroit, and it's a story about Boston, is you can never rest on your laurels. You always have to be planning for the future, because you never know if something like this is going to happen. And the question is, what will 2015, 2016, 2017 have? And what does that mean for your residents? What does that mean for your businesses? What does it mean for a lot of other issues, including your ability to raise the revenues you need to support the fine services you have in the city? Okay?